Quitting Yu-Gi-Oh was one of the best things that I could do for my TCG hobby. And I even want to go a little bit further here and say that quitting Yu-Gi-Oh was one of the best decisions that I made in my life going forward as an adult. Because Yu-Gi-Oh for me was a part of my life since I was a small kid. And I still love Yu-Gi-Oh to a certain degree, I have to say. But if I would have never said goodbye to Yu-Gi-Oh in the way that I was consuming it, then I think I wouldn't really have gotten that far as I have gotten in my life, actually. And also the new things that I've experienced along the way in my TCG hobby. And the question comes up, like, why do you want to quit in the first place, right? If you are quitting something, then either you don't have time for it anymore, or something about it doesn't really resonate with you anymore like it used to be. And that was definitely the case in my experience, that Yu-Gi-Oh just changed so much, and that I wanted to experience some things that I really didn't get from Yu-Gi-Oh, that I just needed to go away and find a new way in actually experiencing those things that I wanted to experience. And what do you want to really experience in a TCG in the first place, and in your life, actually? I really want to make this question up here because I think it is so crucial to ask that to yourself. And I asked that question myself. What do I really want to experience in this hobby and in my life in general? And I just felt that I was pretty stuck in this hobby called Yu-Gi-Oh, and that also things are not really changing the way that I wanted them to change in the hobby. Rather, it was going down a road that I couldn't really support the game anymore. Though I have to say, Yu-Gi-Oh still has a big part in my heart, and also I play Yu-Gi-Oh from time to time, though in a way that I like to play it and not the way that nowadays it is played. I don't think that it is a new topic, but I want to talk about it from my perspective. And I also want to hear your opinion and your experience down in the comments. Really, I want to read all of your comments down below. And I also remember some of your names from the comments that way. So if you have something to contribute to this conversation, just write a comment now. Okay, let's get into actually why it was such a good decision for me in the first place to quit Yu-Gi-Oh! And that was because that way I had the time and the space to experience something else. And in the first time that I quit Yu-Gi-Oh, I experienced something very else than TCGs, actually. I stepped away from the TCGs for quite a while and experienced just other parts of my life that I love. And if you are in a situation like I was, consuming a lot of daily Yu-Gi-Oh, either by playing, being active in the community, watching content, collecting the cards, or thinking that you are a Yu-Gi-Oh investor, I thought that. And really, it gave me the space and also the energy to go and do something else. Also, it gave me the clarity actually to just look at this hobby from another perspective. And that is really what cleared up my view and made me realize that I just can't support the game and Yu-Gi-Oh in general like I used to be. Also, I think it is not something, unusual to just step a little bit away from things that you used to doing when you were younger. So I'm 31, so I'm talking from that perspective, right? That you can have a space in your heart for something, but you don't really need to do it like you used to do it. And also, coming back to Yu-Gi-Oh from time to time is really making my day, I have to say, because I can experience those good things that I have with this hobby again and again, and also see some of those friends that I've made along the way in Yu-Gi-Oh again. And also, I can now really step away and don't, being that mad about Yu-Gi-Oh not changing anymore. I even made a video on the channel about that, so if you want to watch that, definitely go to the Fabled Academy and check that out. But really having the energy to just do other things in my life was so refreshing. Also, it was giving me the time to really think about and ponder about what I want from a TCG when I go back to the TCG. And that was really not the point of this video, actually talking a lot about the detail, but let me know if you want me to talk about these in detail in another video. But then when I knew what kind of things I really wanted from a TCG, could then much more clearly go out and search for that. And it came out that yeah, there are other TCGs that are actually tackling those problems that I think Yu-Gi-Oh has, and that are doing a much better job at a certain degree. And also I think it is a way for me to now see that really I couldn't have made a better decision. And that I can only say in a retrospective, right? So giving you a little bit more context here, I quit, so to say, Yu-Gi-Oh in 2019, early of 2020. And then I came back to it actually in the pandemic, collecting and investing in cards again, but then quickly realizing that it is not really fitting my lifestyle anymore, and also not the views that I have on a TCG. It really gave me the opportunity to experience some other things and also view these problems that I saw in Yu-Gi-Oh from a very different point, because actually when you can solve those problems, suddenly life becomes much more different. Actually, it becomes much more positive, I have to say, when you're not constantly complaining about it, worrying about it, and just making these problems up that you are seeing. And don't get me wrong, there are other players and community members in Yu-Gi-Oh say there isn't really a problem. There are also good parts to Yu-Gi-Oh, and I can see that and cherish that now much more than I could back then. And let me tell you about actually 3 things that I could experience. And that's also, the clear points why I think it was one of the best decisions in my life for the TCG hobby and beyond to quit Yu-Gi-Oh the way that I used to consume it. And that the first thing is that I just could make new connections and new friends that I would have never made if I would have been stuck in Yu-Gi-Oh. And that is actually not saying that I can't really make new connections in Yu-Gi-Oh, but that I just wanted to make different connections. And I don't want to bash on the Yu-Gi-Oh community here, but if you are a member of the community, you maybe know of the difficulties that you can have in that community. And I didn't really want to be a part of that anymore. And I could just break free from that by going away from that community and searching for a much more healthy place to be in. That also gave me the power to just do other things in my life. Also, not only making new connections, but I could also finally, stop complaining about this. And that is something that just, I don't get it. Why Yu-Gi-Oh community members keep doing that. If you hate this game, if you don't like this game, just stop complaining and go on. Do something else. But I see people, even players that I know from back then when I was active before 2019, that are still complaining today about the things that we were complaining about back in 2019. And I think, like, guys, there's so much time passed, just move on. There's just much more things in life that you can experience. And I also see why it can be very difficult to do such things if your whole circle, your whole friend group is evolving around this place, this hobby. And that is something that I would like to say is one of the best things that I could make. Just expand my view on the world a little bit more across those Yu-Gi-Oh lines. And also, like, I was always a guy that had multiple hobbies, multiple friendships, and that way I could also see, like, why it is not really the downfall of the world if I get away from Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe just even for a little bit, and see where I want to go from that way. The third thing actually that I could experience is that I found a new TCG, and I have to say, those things that I experienced while playing a new TCG are so amazing. And even, like I said, I play Yu-Gi-Oh from time to time. I don't say that you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh and another TCG. I know a lot of players actually who play multiple TCGs, but I think just giving my energy to another TCG really just trickled so many new steps that I could take, like opening up this YouTube channel finally that I wanted to do for a long time. Tackling collecting from a very different point, getting away from that mindset that TCGs are actually an investment, and also making collecting a much more healthy habit for myself. It was also the opportunity to play the game much more intensively. And I have to say, I covered the TCGs that I'm in now on this channel, but I don't really say that, like I said, that you need to quit it all the way down, that you never have to do something with this, but that you just have a way now through this video to think about it maybe a little bit more clear, and also in a healthy way that you don't really have to make it, like I said, the downfall of the world. Let me know actually if you think that, this video helps you. I'm not really sure how many videos like this I will make on the channel, but if you're interested in those, subscribe to the Fabled Academy. I have to say, there were so many opportunities that got my way when I was quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! That I can't really count them up. And they just keep coming. So more and more opportunities keep coming. And I also think whether you are a very competitive player, there are also very competitive surroundings that you can go to. Whether you want to see if Flesh and Blood is something for you, Disney Lorcana, or some other TCG. But I really think that you can also excel in your position that you are in as a collector, as just a casual gamer, a competitive player when you're going new roads. And also with recent examples of other people quitting this game, I really want to make this position up here and just get this conversation going. Guys, I really think I want to talk about this in another video, but that's it for today. And now if you want to leave a like on the video, I would really highly appreciate that. And also just in general, I want to say thank you for viewing this video until the end. And now check out the next video here on the Fabled Academy.